Aloha everybody, Kaiwaza with you. Back to our video series going through my Hawaiian record collection, one record at a time. Pardon me if I'm sipping some herbal tea here. It's a very chilly afternoon in Honolulu. We've had some very cold weather here for us. I know it's not an Arctic blast or anything. But it has actually been down into the 50s at night and hovering in the 60s during the day, which is in low 70s. That's very cold for us, actually. Anyway, that's what's happening here. So today we start a new letter, the letter P. Now the letter P is fairly large, pretty large, a lot of records. That's actually letter P back there, quite a few. So we're going to start with that today, and that will be several videos long. First up is a local artist called Noly. The album is called Reflections. This is from 1985? 85, yeah. I was working at KCCN Radio when this record came out. It's kind of he's a like romantic vocalist, so it's not really Hawaiian songs. A couple of Hawaiian theme songs, and the rest are just kind of love ballad things. The instrumental, he's a pianist also. The instrumental classical hula was actually quite popular on the radio here.
Manoa, how I miss the days you'd shelter me with beauty. Manoa, how I miss the way your rain would help to soothe me.
And it is on Polywinds Records. That's followed by another male solo singer, this by the name of Angel Pablo. Again, there's just a couple of Hawaiian songs on here, and the rest are like show tunes. This guy, you know, had shows, whatever, and as a show singer, very strong voice. This is on Hanaho Records, recorded in Los Angeles, but he is local performing artist, was local performing artist here.
Giotto mate kudasai. Please excuse me while I cry. Seems sayonara means goodbye.
And it is on Hanaho Records. I think that's connected with Don Ho, isn't it? Hanaho Records, if I'm recalling. Anyway, up next, this is a soundtrack recording. Songs from the MGM Technicolor musical film Pagan Love Song, starring Esther Williams and Howard Keel. Now this particular record is one side Pagan Love Song, the other side The Pirate. I don't know if you've ever seen Pagan Love Song with Esther Williams, but Esther Williams is, I love her films, you know. She's the lady that dives into the water and does all these aquatic routines with all these other women, and they're all, you know, it's great stuff. And she's beautiful. And Pagan Love Song was set in the South Seas, so, you know, she's all underwater in these tropical lagoons, and it's a great film. Yeah, and I also have it. This one is it's kind of like weird private. Well, MCA. I take that back. MCA Records. I also have it on a 10-inch record, and the interesting thing is the 10-inch record actually has more songs than the large one does from the film. So go figure. I don't know.
Got a place in the sun, a particular one, on a tropical avenue, far away from it all that I happily call the House of Singing Bamboo. On the windier days seems an orchestra plays on the musical breeze for you.
But yeah, I completely enjoy a good Esther Williams movie, right? This one, now we're up to another artist called Paul Page. This particular album, Paul Page and his Paradise Music with the Island Airs, is called The Reef is Calling. Now, you can also find this very same album with several different titles rather than The Reef is Calling. It looks exactly the same, except the title has changed. One is, I've seen it called Ports of Call, I think, and Pieces of Eight, I think, which are also, and maybe another one too, Castaway maybe, I'm not sure, but they're all songs on the album, and they are all also, I believe, the names of former Polynesian tiki bar type restaurants in California, Southern California, where the group, the Island Airs, Paul Page with the Island Airs, performed. So I think it was, I don't know the story exactly, but probably issued with the different names of wherever it was they were selling it. Maybe they sold it at their restaurants or something when the groups were performing. I don't exactly know, but I do know same record can be found with 3 or 4 different titles on it. Paul Page was a radio personality and composer, and he composed many of the songs.
Ports of call are calling, calling. Mystic harbors far over the blue. So come.
And I have to say, I'm particularly fond of his narrations. The Island Airs are great musicians. Paul Page, I love the things that he narrates. He narrates a little poem called Philippine Farewell, totally kitschy. My Fiji Island Queen, super kitschy and politically incorrect. When Sam goes back to Samoa, I mean, his narrations are great. Yeah. Then we have another one from him, The Big Island Says Aloha. This one is Paul Page and his Paradise Music, starring Jerry Bird, the world's greatest steel guitarist.
Well, I saved up all my money, and one day when skies were sunny, just like a big Manu, I flew away.
Quite a lot going on in the back here, and quite a list of credits on musicians, too.
I said aloha to old Iowa, so I sailed away, so lonely. But then one day, to my surprise, there came along this one and only.
And I used to have one other Paul Page record, which I no longer am in possession of. I never sell anything unless I have a duplicate, and I didn't have a duplicate of this, but it was Paul Page's Hawaiian Honeymoon record in fairly decent condition that I got pretty cheap at a collector's expo at some point, quite cheap, like $5 or something. But I actually sold it to someone. If you're into the record store and reissue and all this kind of stuff going on, you might know recently there was a reissue of Paul Page music in like a 2-volume set, and issued on LP and on CD. And the people who were creating that could not get a copy of the album Paul Page Hawaiian Honeymoon. Apparently I have the only one that anybody could track down anywhere. So I refused to sell it because I don't sell something unless I have a duplicate, and I didn't have a duplicate of it, but I eventually was. It reached a price point that I just couldn't say no logically, so I said yes, and so I don't have that record anymore. But if you want to hear it, part of it's included in that Paul Page reissue CD and or LP set that's been reissued. So you can check that out. It's on everywhere you can find it. Yeah, okay. Next, we're going to look at, are we going to start, I don't know. Let's go with Bla Pahinui. We've got 2 albums from him we're going to look at, and then we'll call it a day. The name Pahinui might be familiar if you're familiar with Hawaiian music. Gabi Pahinui was a very, very famous Hawaiian musician. His sons, one of them also continued recording. Bla Pahinui is one of those. And this is his 1981 record just called Bla. And this is on Pualani Records. Now, he did another one also that's just called Bla Pahinui. Not very original titles, right? Bla Pahinui, but okay, you get the message, right? 1983, this album is from.
Are you mine, Delaney, honey? I'm over here, so don't be funny. You're the one that pulls me through night and day when I am blue. Don't worry, dear, have no fear, 'cause I'm yours.
And it is on Mountain Apple Company Records. Now, that's all I have for Bla Pahinui for records. I think there is actually another vinyl of his that I do not have that's out there. And then he continued on recording. All of the Pahinui's sons, the three sons of his, Gabi Pahinui's, all had recording careers on their own and with other groups like Peter Moon, Sunday Manoa. They were part of other influential groups, so they were all involved in the music industry for quite a long time as well, and into the CD era and even into the present. They're still around. But we're going to stop there and end the video for today. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you like Hawaiian music, I invite you to check out my Hawaiian Easy Listening, a beautiful Hawaiian music station called Hawaiian Hi-Fi. That is on live365.com. Also, you can check out playlists, curated playlists I have on a site called 8tracks.com. And when you're at 8tracks.com, just look up Hawaiian Leisure Hour. That's where you'll find my curated playlist. So if you have any of these records or comments about them, I'd love to hear from you. Have a good week, and we will see you in the next video. And we continue the letter P.